Welcome to Fashion Reverie Talks. I'm Carl Ayers.
I am Tiana Ibrahimovic.
And I'm Cicely Daniels.
Fashion Reverie takes you from the front lines of fashion to the front row.
All of Fashion Reverie talk segments are based on published content found on fashionreverie.com.
So remember, if you want more information on the segments, go to fashionreverie.com.
That's right. And also, please go to our YouTube page to like, subscribe, and follow us for more. Now, we start every episode with our fashion news alert, ripped from the headlines of our fashion news topics on fashionreverie.com. And this week, we have some interesting things for you. So, you know what? I'm going to kick it off this week. So, we're winding down the year, and we are, getting things in order, in our homes, in our lives, in our businesses, and in the world in general. So one topic that's been in the air for the past few months or years has been inclusivity and diversity and equity. And so over the past few years, we've seen a number of organizations pop up, like the 15% Pledge and Blacks in Fashion, the Blacks in Fashion Council, and even Tommy Hilfiger launched the People's Place program. But now we're on the cusp of the launch of a new initiative, this time by a school of higher education. The Fashion Institute of Technology, FIT, has launched their Social Justice Center, the SJC. And so the SJC, I'm going to read it from the notes, will focus on creating opportunities and accelerating social equity within the creative industries. So this is a first of its kind initiative for higher education organization like a college. It's certainly the first time I've heard of anything like this from a college outside of HBCUs, of course. Now, SJC has its founding partners, which include PVH Corp, which owns Tommy Hilfiger and Calvin Klein, Capri Holdings, which owns Michael Kors and Versace, and Tapestry, which owns Coach and Kate Spade. Now, they've already amassed $1.5 million in funding and support. And they've even had other brands sign on with support, such as Carolina Herrera, Target, Saks, Prada, and Ralph Lauren. So we're ending the year on a good note where we're looking forward to 2022, which will include more diversity, more inclusion, more equity. So, I'm happy for that. What do you ladies think?
I think it sounds awesome. I love the idea that they are starting like early, that they're going to try to get like young people. I think you kind of for people to get like into fashion, a lot of times, like starts at a young age. And I think having that kind of exposure, those opportunities for mentorship and support and, potential support if you choose a career in the creative industry, in the fashion industry, I think is extraordinary. So I'm excited. I think it's really cool.
I agree. I think it's a great idea. Of course, a lot of creatives need guidance and help with certain other angles. So I think let's see where it takes them and how it works out.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm thankful that FIT is taking this step, making this move. In spite of some issues that they've had in the past with inclusion or diversity or sensitivity in some of their productions, their fashion shows. So good job, FIT. We're proud of you. Thank you.
Now, are you guys ready for another fashion news alert where
Yes.
a creative director of Balenciaga, Dimna Vasalia, pulled a Kanye? Well, anyway, I think they're different characters, so maybe the comparison isn't that fair, but I couldn't resist because they are friends and they did collaborate on Kanye's album. And we saw Kim Kardashian wear Balenciaga a lot lately. Also, he joined her at the Met Gala, and everyone at first thought that could be Kanye because he totally covered his face, and obviously Kim covered her face as well. I thought the look was impressive and historic in a way. I think we'll all look back at it, even though for some of us it took a moment to kind of realize, how much of innovative fashion that is, even though he is inspired by like rave and some fashions that those that are born before 2000s are familiar with. But so he decided, not that that's me, I'm joking.
Yeah, don't
But
hate any of us.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know how old and young and beautiful we might be are.
right. Just good lighting is what matters.
Yes.
Always,
Anyway,
always.
so so he decided to be called just Dimna, so just by his first name. He ditched his last, and just recently he presented the latest collection for Balenciaga, but also they threw that in that he'd like the press to just call him by one name, his first name. What do you guys think of that idea? Is it a good idea? Is it something, some of a trend that he's starting? What are your thoughts?
I'm like to each his own, like if that's you know what I'm saying? Like if that's what you want to have happen for you, like obviously we're gonna go ahead. It's not gonna be like, oh no, I'm not gonna do it. Like I feel like I guess it's important for an artist if for some reason they feel like it better reflects them, if they're able to, live their higher purpose. I'm like, good for you. Live your higher purpose. Well, sometimes people need to change it multiple times. So,
Well, see, all right, yeah. So Diddy has changed his name a number of times.
okay.
Prince went to the
And recently
symbol.
again, right?
Yeah, again, yes, recently. I don't even know what it is now.
I don't know what the current name is. So I was thinking of that and I was like, you can't say it, Cicely, because you don't know what it is. So
Yeah. But a lot of people do it like, Cher goes like I've never known Cher's last name, never. Um, Madonna goes by her first name, but it's one thing for you to be the stalwart in the industry and the industry just calls you by your first name. It's another thing for you to say, we're not. I want everyone to call me by my first name only, not my last name. It's different. One is where the people give you that honor because you are that good that you're known by a single name, and then it feels kind of weird when someone says, "Oh, only call me, refer to me as my first name." I don't. I'm not a fan of it. I think it's pointless, honestly, because first of all, his name is not the easiest for most people to pronounce. Let's just get that. Let's just clear that up,
Especially
right?
last name, right?
No, that's what I'm saying. His last name, yeah. So most people are calling him Demna anyway. So for him to say, "Just call me by my first name," there's not really a big change on what's already been going on. But I'm thinking that maybe there's some kind of like legal or business strategy behind it. Like how sometimes people they will create an LLC when they are like a single person business. They'll create an LLC to separate themselves from their business, whether it's for financial reasons, whether it's for liability. They just want that separation. So maybe he's doing that. But then, going back to the older designers like Valentino, Givenchy, no, yeah, not Givenchy, Valentino, Kenzo, um, who else? Gucci and Halston. They've done it, but once again, I think that honor was given to them by the people, by the public, by the media. They didn't go and tell and profess. I am now a single name entity, and that's how you shall refer to me. I think this is just
But
good marketing, but a waste of time.
but the difference is that those were the names of the actual brand.
right.
True,
Well,
true.
I guess the question is, like you said, it's like in society, if everyone feels that you are so renowned in your field or you're so outstanding that people feel really confident about it, then I kind of think like people accept it. So
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
yeah.
I guess we'll see.
So the reaction that I've seen on social media, people are looking around like, what? Like, we really need to make this statement? Like, we're already calling you Demna. But look, if he feels good about it, that's fine. Nothing's changing on our end anyway. Demna, Demna,
Right.
Demna.
I think that's funny. Well, thinking of things that are entertaining to people. So, a celeb collaboration with a fashion brand, that is nothing new. But in the world of social media, celebs taking over Instagram accounts of fashion brands is now a thing that is happening. And Calvin Klein, no introduction, has given SNL actor, comedian Pete Davidson full access to their Instagram account, which has 21.5 million followers. And
Yikes.
yes, and Davidson is going to be joined by Machine Gun Kelly. And those two, like, I guess recently nothing was getting between them and their Calvin Kleins on Instagram Live. So there was a whole thing. So, people, there was no announcement. There's like a lot of speculation about, is it part of a like new campaign or promotion? Is it just like a stunt? Because it's unusual. But, like, I feel like if anything that keeps people entertained, to me, anything that keeps people entertained and also finding like joy and fun in fashion and anything, I'm here for it. So it's not the first time that Calvin Klein has had something that's kind of like out of the box. They have had previous like kind of collaborations with other like big like artists like Saweetie and Simone. So I'm like, I think it's cool. I think it's gonna be. I think like it'll, like I said, if it gets your attention, it can be fun and engaging. What do you guys think?
Look, I'd give Pete my number, my apartment keys. So I totally understand.
So Pete, if you're watching, Tiana said she'd give you her number. So like, I know you probably tune in. So,
and not just my number, my home keys.
Wait! Isn't he dating?
And that was before Kim. Right, that was before Kim. That's what I thought before Kim.
Oh, okay.
Well, so all right, so. Number one, Pete is funny. The Staten Island guy is funny. I have not seen the takeover for Calvin Klein yet. I'm definitely going to check it out now. But I think he's a good guy. I see nothing wrong with it. Machine Gun Kelly, Machine Gun Kelly is coming up in a bit. Well, he is established, but he's still climbing the charts and climbing the ladder in the business. So why not? And then Calvin Klein, they do these interactions and activations and events and all kind of activities for their clients all the time. It's nothing new. I remember a few years ago they took over this plaza in the Flatiron district here in New York City, and they made a whole interactive market. They even had ASAP Rocky come out and perform. So Calvin Klein does this kind of stuff for the fans all the time.
Special
exactly.
Event.
So this is nothing. And celebrity takeovers are always something new and fresh and fun. And so it is what's trending now. So I think this is on brand for Calvin Klein, and it is timely now for what's going on in the industry and in social media. So I'm going to check it out.
Yeah. So fun times.
Yes. So what are you
no,
gonna say?
Ahead. You go.
No,
ahead.
you go.
There's a fun connection between Calvin Klein and SNL, where Calvin Klein's daughter, Marcy Klein, worked at SNL. So that's just a fun fact.
Oh, okay. Now the loose ends are tied together. Now we see. Okay. All right. So viewers, for more information about any of these talk points and more topics, please go to fashionreverie.com.
So, viewers, happy holiday season. It is much more exciting this year than last year. Sadly, last year we didn't spend that much time out and about in restaurants, clubs, etc. So this season, Cameron Gray Rose, our associate editor, came up with a list of best places to visit, best restaurants, best bars to visit that are all festive and perfect for holiday gatherings. So Cameron, share a few of our favorites with us. Hi.
Hi, nice to see you. Yeah, last year, if you needed a break from your family, you didn't get one. And everybody was stuck at home. It was before the vaccines were created. It was so sad. Last Christmas was not happy, but this Christmas, we can go out, we can get vaccinated, and I would urge everyone. Sometimes some restaurants are having trouble getting staff. The restaurants are crowded, so everyone, please be patient and tip 20%. But if
So
you if you're in New York City, there is a fantastic place that we can go. And I think you remember this place, don't you, Tiana?
yeah, I was actually going to suggest we start with New York City. So tell us, so what did you put on your special list? Yes, I know which place you're gonna mention.
Biche Cucina is just the most wonderful place in Midtown. So it's perfect if you're at Rockefeller Center or you go to Central Park to go to the shopping plaza there and you just like, I need to sit down. There's tons of seating. It's so relaxing and the food is just amazing. They actually have something called a pizza, which is an Italian pizza, and they brought in special equipment from Italy. It uses three different kinds of flour, so the crust is actually very light and it doesn't use that much oil, so it's light and crispy and it won't fill you up, and it is absolutely delicious.
Oh my God, I'm gonna have to try that one.
And they also have, of course, a lot of traditional dishes, like veal Milanese and lobster tagliatelle, which is all fantastic. But I love their pizzas. It's so different.
Did they manage to figure out how to not get any calories in?
Unfortunately, no, but they are working on it. Top scientists are weighing in.
I can't wait. But yeah, I also saw that Vice Cucina puts out like a little outdoor bubble. So it's more
Mm.
spacious and safer.
Yeah, they actually have heaters, so you can be outside and not frozen.
All right. Well, why don't you share a few more spots in maybe some of the warmer areas of the US?
Yes, for those lucky, lucky people who are in Palm Beach, Miami, I envy you. Clear out your guest room because I am coming for a visit. There is this wonderful place. It popped up 3 years ago, but unfortunately it couldn't do it last year. Miracle on Rosemary, and that's in North Palm Beach. And it is just this fantastic bar. It is so kitschy. It just looks like Walmart puked all over it. But they have great themed cocktails. Oh, and this is another reason I have to go there and try this eggnog pancakes. Doesn't that sound delicious?
What did you find out what that actually is? Is it an eggnog? Is it a drink? Or is it a pancake?
It's a pancake that is eggnog pancakes. I don't know how they make it. I don't know if eggnog is used as the syrup instead of regular syrup, but they just advertise eggnog pancakes. I have to find out. That sounds
Hmm,
fantastic.
sounds interesting. And also any name that has a miracle in its title, I like. So I totally love to check it out for
And it's pretty close to the beach if you wanted to stop and maybe catch some waves.
sure. Perfect. What about the West Coast? Anything on the West Coast you would recommend?
I have been there, but I've never been there for Christmas. Casa Vega in Sherman Oaks in Los Angeles. Now it's a Mexican restaurant. The food is really good, but it's also more of a relaxed place. It's more casual. It's not super expensive. But the one thing about Casa Vega is it attracts everyone. You are just as likely to run into your plumber at Casa Vega as you are to run into a Kardashian. It is a relaxed place, and they specialize in like getting really, really kitschy, cheap decor and just going to town on the whole place. It's fun, it's relaxed. The Mexican food is delicious, and it's just a really good time. But I have to warn you, Casa Vega is known for their very strong margaritas. So if you
All
go there,
right.
make sure you've got your Lyft app all updated.
All right, that's amazing. I'll definitely check those three out and the rest that you shared with us on fashionreverie.com. Thank you, Cameron.
Thank you so much.
All right, so we are here for our holiday episode. And so what's the holidays without shopping? So, of course, we are joined by one of our favorite associate editors, Tessa Swantek, who's going to walk us through some holiday shopping, especially for you ladies. Tessa, welcome back.
Hi. So
How are you
I
doing?
wanted, oh, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to talk about you and shopping because you know that's one of my favorite things.
Me too.
All right, so let's kick it off. You wrote this incredible article about great gifts, unique gifts for the women in your life. So let's start with fashion. Let's start with something fashionable because we are fashion reverie and fashion reverie talks.
Sure. So the first thing I started with was I kind of wanted to go with jewelry. Um, Jewelry is kind of a safe gift, though. A lot of women get it for Christmas, from anyone because they're kind of guaranteed to like it. But I didn't really want to go with the classic jewelry. I kind of find that a little boring. It's not as thoughtful. So I found this Swarovski emerald green earring clip, which it just clips on the top of your ear. It's so pretty. And I first saw it, Harry Styles actually wore it on the cover of Dazed in November. So I was like, this is going to be $1,000. Like, there's no way I could get this. But then I found it for 60, which is
Wow.
insane. Yeah, that's so much cheaper than I thought. And it's so nice.
Well, so I would suggest that you go and get one or a few before you tell everyone else about it, and just give those gifts out. But yeah, so that's great. Swarovski is has always been a great product, a great present because you can get either pre-made jewelry like this ear cuff or this ear clip, or you can get the individual stones, individual crystals, and you can make
Right,
your own gifts. You can even bedazzle something that you already own. So
right.
Swarovski is always a great go-to, not just for the holidays, but for year round.
I mean, it's classic, but they've come out with so
Mhm.
many collections lately that are so much more interesting than just like the typical jewelry with one little
Yeah,
stone in the middle. So it's a
yeah.
lot more fun.
Okay. All right. So what else you got for us?
So the next thing I have, I wanted to go with interior design because I know that that's a something I'm huge on. I always want a bunch of interior design things. So I don't know if it's just me. I've been buying a million candles during quarantine. I never did that, and now I literally cannot stop. I have a million candles.
I
Um,
have dozens.
yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Um, but I found these like sculptural candles by Anais Candle, and they
Mhm.
come in like Greek busts and Christmas trees, and even like Christmas cakes they have right now. I
Ah.
found this whole set where you can get like Greek column candles. The only thing is, I feel like I wouldn't want to light them because I wouldn't want to ruin them.
So I was thinking the same thing. Full disclosure, I have dozens and dozens and dozens of candles, and most of them are scented. And I light them depending on my mood. And I love art history, art culture.
Me
I love
too.
cultures, especially from old periods like Egypt, ancient Egypt, Greece, and Rome. And so these candles are great. And just like you, I'm not sure if I would want to light them because they're pieces of art. But I will say if they are used and slightly melted, it gives a different vibe. Like it's an old school, like New York City Soho loft from the 1990s kind of vibe. Like I like that. I don't know if
True.
I want my candles to look like that. Maybe someone else's candles would look like that. But those are a great choice. Yeah.
I mean, the thing about it though is that the set that I picked for the gift guide, it has one of the candles is two of these like Greek columns, and they have two of them. So I feel like you could light one and then kind of get away with that
Save the
and see
one.
what you think about it.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
mean, that's what I would suggest. And they're completely sustainable too. They're non-toxic, because they're made from beeswax and soy wax. Yeah, soy wax, I think. So
Uh-huh.
that's good because everyone's kind of looking for sustainable things now too.
Yes, and also they're made by local artists, so you're
Right.
supporting local businesses here in New York City. So that is great. The gift that keeps on giving. All right, and so now what else? Yeah.
The next one we have, I just kind of went with a signature scent idea because I mean, I know during quarantine I've been looking for a signature scent. I've never really had a specific like fragrance that I wear all the time. So I found these Byredo perfumes, which they're so unique. Everyone's been loving them. So you kind of feel like, does everyone have them at this point? But there's so many of them that you could choose from. And they kind of connect emotions and scents, which is so interesting. I know you had an experience making perfume recently that I want you to tell me about.
That's something different. Don't tell anyone about that. Recently I did a men's fragrance article, and I included the Byredo Mixed Emotions scent in there. So Byredo makes great scents that they're where they're not a Swiss company. I think they're I can't remember what country they're from, but but it's a great company. I think they're from Stockholm. Um, and they make a incredible line of scents that really draw the person in, like not just you the wearer, but those around you,
Right.
because they're very unique. They're not heavy, but they are very different in the way they interact with the skin. It's incredible. So anyone out there listening, reading, watching, go and get some Byredo, whether it's the gift set or whether it's an individual scent, or if it's the candles that I think they have.
Yeah.
Stop by the Byredo kiosk, the booth at the mall. Go and get you some. Yes, but speaking of scents, I recently went to a Yves Saint Laurent event where we
Oh,
had
wow.
a special little one-on-one master class with the master perfumer Carlos Benet. He flew in from Paris
My
to talk
God.
to us about the YSL scent Libre. And we walked through the making of the scents, like how long it takes, all the intricacies that go on to make it. We get to smell some of the natural ingredients like the lavender and the orange blossom. And for ladies and for guys, I think this is another great gift for you. The Libra, whether it's the Eau de Toilette, the Eau de Parfum, or the Intense, excuse me, the Intense. You gotta say it with the French accent, the Intense. It's another great gift for this holiday and for the future. They have some ancillary products as well, like this great Libra book
Oh,
that I
nice.
have. So get you some. Get into the YSL Beauty brand. Check out their Instagram and website for more.
That kind of
Yes,
reminds me of that Halston. Did you watch Halston?
of
It
course, I
kind of
saw
reminds
Halston.
me of that, the episode where they're making the fragrances and they talk about how like emotions and scents and memories are
Yes,
connected. That's why it's
yes.
such a thoughtful gift because you kind of pay attention to like what fragrances women like, and
Hmm.
you could kind of make it into this memory sort of thing without it just being like a generic gift, which I love.
Exactly. Fragrance is one of the most personal gifts, and because
Right.
so much goes into creating them. Like with the Libra, there were 1,570 versions before they finalized the final product. So there's a
Oh my
lot that goes
God.
into it. Yeah, there's a lot. So just like there's a lot that goes into making these gifts, there should be a lot of thought that goes into giving these gifts. So for our viewers, readers, and listeners, please go to fashionreverie.com, read the rest of Tessa's articles, see more gifts to give, and check out the rest of our website for other ideas. Tessa, it's always a pleasure having you. It's always a pleasure talking with you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
So, you guys know this is our holiday episode, and myself, and who I'm about to do this next segment with, I'm gonna call us the shoppers. We're the shoppers. We always looking. Sometimes y'all don't know this. Sometimes I send a text to this particular person to get their opinion about things because I'm always like, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
And so me and my person that I'm about to do this segment with are the shoppers. So I am so excited to do this segment with my co-host as well as the associate editor Carl Ayers to tell me and you all about some amazing boutique stores across the country, these hidden gems, which if you want to get that most special gift, COVID is still here, but vaccines are here and masks are here, and now we know what to do. You can go in a store and find the best gift ever, get it wrapped gorgeous, have something that is going to be such a surprise. So I'm really excited to talk to you, Carl, about this shopping and boutiques because I love shopping.
You are preaching. preaching. You are preaching about shopping. That is the Sermon on the Mount about shopping right there. I love it. I love it.
Yes.
So, all right. So, for our viewers, when Cicely and I talk about shopping, about on Fashion Reverie Talks, we usually talk about online shopping or things local to New York City. But now we're going to go around the country. We're talking about New York. Today, we're talking about New York, Miami, and Los Angeles. We're not just sticking to New York. We are going in the shops around the country. So let's jump into this because this is a holiday shopping segment, and let's talk about it. So we're going to start at our home base, New York City. So,
Yes.
so there's this shop called Extra Butter. Now, for those of a particular age, butter is old slang. Well, not old slang, it's slang from the 90s about looking good. It's about looking
So
fly,
nice.
looking
Like
fashionable.
butter.
Yes. Exactly, exactly. Like a Tribe Called Quest, their song "Butter." It's butter, baby. You get it, you get it. But as the youngins say, if you want the drip, you got to head to Extra Butter here in New York City. So let's talk about this. This is the it shop for New York City. It's one of the it shops because it has rare items from the popular brands. So whether you want Nike and Adidas, or if you want Fear of God and Rude, or if you want, some newer, well, older brands that are making a resurgence, like Sergio Tacchini, or you want some Macarishi, Comme des Garçons, Junior Watanabe, all of that, it's in Extra Butter, right? You're going to look fly, you're going to look fab, you're going to like really look put together. This is the fly shop of New York City right now. Everyone's going, and you need to get you some.
I love it. I love that you said there's so many different brand selections. I think it's like over 100 brands,
Yes.
which is like, that is actually really exciting. So obviously their buyer like is taking a lot of like time to like curate, to find and stock, and to make sure to have all these different kinds of brands, and then different types of stuff. So apparel, yes, but also footwear and books and home
Yes.
stuff. Like I'm like, that's a fun store. Like that's the kind of store I like to just go. Like even if you're not
Yeah.
like really buying stuff, like it's one of those fun times to like see what you can
Mhm.
see, you know?
Yes. Exactly, because like you said, it's not just apparel and footwear. They do have products for home. They do have books, and they also have their own merchandise to purchase, their own brands. And depending on when you go, because if there's a drop for like sneakers that is coming out, there will be a line out the door and down the block. And they also have special events in there. Look, it is definitely a local tourist spot. So even if
Sure.
you live in New York City, and like you said, if you're not shopping, but if you're window shopping, go in there and check it out. Check out the whole vibe. Go to the website, see what events are coming up. Have a good time at Extra Butter.
Definitely, definitely.
So now we're going to go down south. We're going to take it to Miami. All right. We're going to go with this menswear shop called Market, MRKT. It's a men's shop in the Miami Design District. And I will tell you this up front, you are paying Miami Design District prices. So be
Ooh, okay.
ready.
Be
But it's
prepared.
worth it. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's worth it. So the thing is, with Market, you are going to look like a new rock star.
Wow.
Literally. Like it looks like it is decked out in all the labels, all the designs in your favorite music artist wardrobe,
Mm-hmm.
but it is
Mm-hmm.
still curated enough with a tight network, a tight web of brands where you're not going to see everyone else wearing that same item as you. Number one, the price is prohibitive for some, but also it's a tightly curated style, tightly curated selection of brands so that you can still feel like you are still cool enough to wear this, but still, out of the style range of everyone else. You still feel like you're 2 steps above. So
I
I'm
love that.
loving Market. I'm digging
I think
Market.
it's
Yeah.
great also for people as they're developing their sense of fashion. Like those are great
Yes.
stores to go into because you can start to really get a sense of like what you feel like your vibe is, and like
Hmm.
kind of like what you kind of want to put out there. And stores that have that kind of curated selection, can let you really express yourself individually
Yes.
while you're doing your shopping and having your fun time and looking like
Exactly.
a rock star.
That's right. And then you're in Miami, so it's
Yeah.
all the whole vibe, as they say. It's a vibe. You know the
Yes.
vibe. Now, one of my favorites in Los Angeles. Excuse me. Beverly Hills.
Oh, of course. I'm sorry.
Beverly
Let's
Hills.
clarify. Get your neighborhood right. I know that's right.
Yes, yes, Beverly Hills. So this store is called What Goes Around Comes Around. And there's also one here in New York City. And when I go to the one in New York, I have to fight myself to not shop and shop and shop because, because this is like the high end store of previously loved, previously owned items. So they have everything from Dior, Fendi, Saint Laurent, Gucci, Prada, Vuitton, Versace. You know, I had to hit the axis, all of those, right? Everything is there. Everything, all the big brands are there. And there's even a special section for Chanel and Hermes.
Oh, oh.
And not just like the typical regular Chanel and Hermes. We talk about the rare pieces. So when you talk about the creme de la creme, what goes around comes around. That is the spot. And it's another thing. So you and I, we were speaking earlier a few days ago about the Sex and the City relaunch.
Right.
This is where you can go and shop and get your outfit and your accessories together. And you can sit on the couch watching Sex and the City, and you could be like their fourth, fifth, sixth characters in the show. Like it's right there for you. It's right there.
I love that. I love that. Well, I mean, I think it's also it's a nice thing to know, like you said, especially the rarity, especially if you're trying to like add to your fashion collection, but looking for something that might be older, rare, more classic, but like a very high-end designer. That is definitely not everywhere. That's a very special store anyway that carries that type of merchandise. And so, for this generation, you could be introduced to new fashion, and for every generation, like things are classic and coveted for a reason. So I think that is, really exciting. Oh, I need to go to all of these stores.
Come on, let's go.
As you know, I always take this time to announce to my husband I'm about to spend money on our credit card. Sorry. So now he knows.
Don't blame me this time.
Well, all three of those stores sound fantastic, but those are not, y'all know, those are not the only stores that Carl has shared with you. And what's great is there are stores across the country, and I'm sure you might have one of these near you. And if it's not near you, you'll visit one of these places, and now you know where to go. Make that special trip, find that special present for others or yourself.
That's right. Test it out. You gotta test the market before you give it out.
Right, exactly. Test it out and see if the store vibes with you, and you could buy stuff for other people. Like, because it's about giving to other people also. That's right. Not just yourself. Also, okay, I just keep reminding myself it's good. Anyway, I really enjoyed talking to you, Carl. Thank you for this awesome information, and please, y'all know where to go. Check out the full article to find out about all of these great boutiques. Well, viewers, that is it for this episode of Fashion Reverie Talks. I hope that you enjoyed it as much as we did.
We would like to thank our associate editors, Cameron Gray Rose and Tessa Swantek, for joining us.
And for more information on all of these stories, especially the shopping segments, please go to fashionreverie.com. Also, go to our YouTube page to like, subscribe, and follow some more. Thank you for watching. Happy holidays, and we'll see you next time.